What's up YouTube, KidMoto22 here, and today I want to talk to you guys about when's the best time to buy a Harley. And that time might be right now. Let's get to it. What's up YouTube, KidMoto22 here, and I'm back and I want to talk to you guys today about right now might be the best time to buy a new Harley. So if you're in the market and you've been looking around at bikes, I know there's a few things that's been happening in the marketplace, and it reminds me a lot of what Harley went through in the late 90s and early 2000s. And so we'll talk a little bit about that and whether or not you should buy a bike now or wait till next year and see what the new models are because you're so close right now. So basically, this is how I look at it. I see what's happening right now with Harley-Davidson is they're restructuring and they're going through some, normal kind of corporate things that you see companies go through when they're trying to move to another profitable type of business plan. Well, we're seeing them shrink dealerships in terms of less dealerships around the country. And they also reduce their inventory and they're reducing the bikes that they feel like just aren't selling in their lineups. All of these things the company has a history of doing. They did this in the 90s and early 2000s. And the other thing that you'll see them do is with the reduction of inventory, it increases the demand for those motorcycles, okay? And we saw it already this last year with the Pan America. They did almost a 2-year marketing for this motorcycle. When they put it out, they had a limited number of bikes that they were going to put out. And you almost saw no dealerships selling those bikes for MSRP. The demand of those bikes went really high. They sold in most marketplaces higher than MSRP. And that is a business plan that you're going to see kind of rolling into the future. In the late 90s, early 2000s, one of the things you had to do to get a Harley-Davidson was go to the dealership, you picked the bike that you wanted, and you put $500 down. They put your name on a list, and they called you when the bike came in. That bike might not even have been the color that you ordered at the time, but they would say, hey, we have your Sportster for you. It's purple. If you want it, come pick it up. You're like, hey, I wanted a black Sportster. They're like, too bad. This is the one we have. If you want it, come pick it up. If not, we're going to put your name back on the list. Oftentimes, what you saw people do is drive that bike out in the parking lot, call up somebody and say, hey, I've got Sportster for sale, and they would sell it for $2,000 or $3,000 more than they just paid for it in the Harley dealership parking lot, right? This is, I don't think we're going to get quite that far, but that's kind of the business plan that they have set up right now. Reduce the number of dealerships, reduce the stock available, increase the value of the bikes that they do have on the market, and then that increases their profit margin. So the other thing that I think you're seeing right now is that if any of you follow the stock market, and I don't know if you do or you don't, but Harley stock has gone down about $25 from what it was about 5 years ago, right? So I think they're trading around $36 right now for a share. When I looked at Harley about 5 years ago, 4 years ago, it was about $52 a share. So that's a pretty significant difference in the value of per share, and they want to increase that back up for their shareholders, and so they need to find a plan to get profitable. If you're in the stock market and you follow anything, the stock markets are telling you now's a good time to buy Harley stock. One of the things that you typically see companies do in the same time to become more profitable is you're going to see an increase in the base price of the motorcycles go up. I think we're going to see that in 2022. I think they're going to be releasing new models. If you watched any of my other videos where I talk about new models coming out, I think with those new models you're going to see a base price of those motorcycles go up. And so to me, that says right now, limited stock, lower price marks. Right now is a time to buy. If you're looking to get into that holdover 2020 or 2021, now's the time to do it, because I think after that, those prices are going to go up with the 2022 models coming out and a lower availability of motorcycles based on, I think they're going to make less of them to put out in the marketplace. Less bikes, higher demand. They're going to be able to sell those bikes again above MSRP, just like they did with the Pan America. I don't think we saw quite the same thing happen with the Sportster S, but I also don't think a lot of them have hit the marketplace yet. So that's about my thoughts on when is the right time to buy a Harley. And if you didn't get it, the right time to buy a new Harley is right now. So get out there, if you're in the marketplace, buy that new Harley before those prices go up, because we are bound to see that happen. It's really, you know, another thing is I think you're going to see a bit of a reset happening because of the supply chain issues, and there has to be a catch-up. And I think 2022 is going to be one of those catch-up years. So I think we're going into year 3, I believe, with the new CEO, and he's going to make his mark, and that's where you're going to see a big change happening for sure. So that's what I have for you guys today. If you like what I'm doing, give me a thumbs up. I'll put a link to another video up over here that you might like, and my subscribe button is going to come over here or over here. And that's all I have for you guys today. This is Kid Moto. I'm out.